What's up, everybody? I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. My name is Anthony, and on today's video I got a special one for y'all. We're going to take a walk through my property and I want to show y'all how I scout locations for hunting white-tailed deer. So a little bit of background, I have been hunting on my property for about 5 years, ever since I moved in here in 2015. And of course, when I first moved in, it was just my house and two others on like an entire couple square miles. So there's a lot more deer then than there are now. However, there are still plenty of deer on my property. They come and harass my garden all the time. They're trying to eat my apple trees. So I know they are here. I just want to do this video to show you some of the habits that they may have, some of the things that I look for to make sure I know exactly where the deer are actually traveling so I can set up my blinds or stands accordingly. That way I can be a little bit more successful or have a chance for more success than just blindly sitting somewhere in the woods. Before we walk into the woods, I just want to show y'all what I have on me. That way, when you walk in the woods, you can have the same thing. First thing, I have a trail cam. If you're on public property and you leave a trail cam, just remember that someone can take that, so don't do that. But if you're on your own private property, I highly suggest bringing along a trail cam or a few. I hope that you bring up some form of pistol with snake shot because it is July in South Carolina, so there's obviously going to be a lot of snakes. And you make sure that you are wearing snake boots, because like I said, there's a really good chance I'm going to run across a copperhead or a timber rattlesnake or something, and I don't want to step on them and get bit. So a little bit of preventative measures can save you a humongous headache. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the woods now. Make sure you have a stick or I have a tripod to knock down any spider webs, because the last thing you want to do is walk into a humongous spider web and have a spider crawling all over your face and freak out like a weirdo running through the woods because you got spiders everywhere. So avoid that. All right. Let's see what we see. I'm going to take y'all to where I usually hunt. And remember how I said about the spider web? There's one right there. All right, I'm going to take y'all to where I usually hunt. Surprisingly close. And it's worked for the last 2 years, but just because it's worked for 2 years... Hey, look, I got a bottle. Just because it's worked for 2 years doesn't mean it's going to work this year. Every year, something happens and something changes where they don't use the same trails they may have used before. All right. So here's my normal spot. You see down there? Down there is where about 3 or 4 game trails intersect, and it runs across the creek. Usually, that's where they walk. So I'm always right up here. See, my blind from last year's completely fallen over, unfortunately. Usually I like to make my own blinds because I don't like to buy things if I don't have to. And I just stack a whole bunch of sticks and almost a teepee. And I have a good shooting gallery from there to there. And it's, fortunately enough, it's close enough. It's about 25 yards to where I can use a bow or a rifle depending on how froggy I'm feeling. But see how that is? Real close. But like I said, you can't always guarantee that they're going to be moving the same places they did last year. So we're going to look around and see if I can see any kind of evidence of where they are. All right, there we go. That's good. See? Right here. We got a game trail right here. See how it's flattened out? Right here by the creek. So let's go ahead and jump down here, see if this is where they're crossing, because I think it is. Yep. Look at that. Fresh hoof prints. They're crossing, coming up my direction. So that is a really good sign. Bunch of them. Cool. So they're crossing my creek. running up here. Taking a roundabout. Step in here. Oh, they're going that way too. See that? Alright, so they could be headed that way or right through here to where I usually set up. Yeah. Let's see where else. Alrighty. No major signs right here. See, they used to come through here. They'd cross the creek right there and walk through right here. But I don't really see any signs that's an active trail. Well, hold on. It is. They're just going right here. So, let's check again. Oh, spider web. Let's see. Yep. Hoof mark. Hoof mark. It looks like they're using this one to go back across the creek. See? So this is where they go back across. So the other side down there is where they're coming towards my property, and that way is them going away from my property. Interesting. Alright, here is another really good sign. This, if you can see, point with my tripod, is greenbrier. Deer love to eat greenbrier, especially the new shoots. And they've been chomping down on it. So they've definitely been walking through here. Alright, so here's another thing I've been looking for. Good quality deer scat. So they're definitely using this trail. And that looks older. And that looks brand new, like it was done this morning. So that means they're using this trail quite regularly, which is fantastical. Alright, so this is why it's important to walk your property and check and not expect everything's going to be the same as it was the year before. Last year they cut those trees. There's a whole bunch of pines. They're gone now, so everything seems to be a little bit different than last year when I was out here. See, I used to set my stand right up here, and I would aim down right there. Bow, obviously. And let's see, I'm gonna walk the trail, see if it's still here. It looks like it. Yeah, looks like it's still there. See, big straight shot right through there. So they're obviously still using it. Alrighty. See, they usually cross the creek back here as well. So let's see if they did. Not as much action as usual. See? It looks more like a raccoon than anything else. Ah, there's some. They look older. Oh, there we go. Good example right there. So they're crossing back over here too. like they have been in the past, so that's a good sign. Coming up through here. Oh, hey, Mr. Turtle. What's up, buddy? You hear me coming? Look at his leg, all kinked out. Hey, buddy. I ain't gonna touch you. Have fun, I'm just scouting. But yeah. So it looks like that one's kind of out of use. But over here, they're walking back up like they used to. So, awesome. Alright, so I think this is going to be the same as last year. This is going to be my backup spot. When I say backup, I mean I would much rather do my primary spot, but if something happens, some noise going on or whatever, and I want to make sure that I still am going to have a chance, this will be it. Because obviously you see right down there by the creek, them crossing over this way just like last year. So, but one thing that's happened, those branches that seem to have broken down, and that tree has a slight bow now, which is stopping me from being able to shoot cleanly with my bow. So that's why we do this, so we can come out here and trim things that we need to trim and get rid of them all so we have a good shooting lane. So I'll be taking those out later on today. So take care of that, take care of those, pop that one off, and I got a pretty good lane, so I'm pretty stoked about that. So yeah, this will be my backup spot again. So I apologize for being super sweaty. It's humid South Carolina, middle of July. Get over it. Alright, so I think this is going to be my primary spot again, just like it was last year. My blind was up there because I have the one trail coming this way, as the toe prints would indicate, coming through here, right there, and then I have the one of them going back right down through there. So this is probably one of the best spots to get them. So it's probably one of the best spots to get them as they're crossing back this way or going back over there, from bedding to eating, eating to bedding, whatever. So I have a really good chance of getting them in this location again. So what I need to do now is I need to set up my game trail cam. It's just a regular Moultrie game cam. I definitely suggest you change the batteries out every single year, because especially if you're down south in the humidity just eats the terminals, so change them out. No sense in not getting any pictures and wasting a whole bunch of time. So I'm going to put this up probably right there on that tree, that way I can get the whole thing. I can see exactly if they're coming, when they're coming, daytime, nighttime, morning, whatever, and potentially it'll give me a plan to put down some corn, maybe, to at least get them used to coming in this area. Maybe get them a little bit more regular. So I don't hunt over a pile of corn. I'll stop putting the corn out when the season starts, but for the time being I want to bring them in, and that seems to be the best way that I've been doing it the last couple of years, just putting some corn out, you know, in the middle of summertime, get them used to coming over here. Then during whenever season starts, September 15th, if it's the same as last year, is archery season, and it's a long shot, but I can do it. And for if I don't get anything during the beginning of the season and rifle season starts, then I use a AR 300 blackout. I got a video on that. I'll put it down below in case you want to see my setup. But yeah, boom, boom. So there you have it. Hopefully all the signs I was able to show you, like the hoof prints coming across the creek, the digs in the ground, the scat, all those will be signs that you need to look for to make sure that you're on a proper game trail, to know that a deer are moving back and forth for wherever you may be trying to hunt. So if you are on public properties, same principle there. If you're on like WMA land, or if you're hunting on your own property, family property, whatever, you know they're in the vicinity, you'll be good to go. Because like I said, you don't want to be one of those people that just goes outside, oh, that looks like a good tree, put up a stand, and then wonder why you don't see anything. So a little bit of homework now will absolutely pay off in the long run, I guarantee it. So the few things that I learned that I needed to address today is I have to cut a few tree limbs open up a little bit more space, maybe move a stand over, and I have to rebuild that blind because that one is horrifying. The wind and rain have definitely knocked it down. So that's something I got to work on the next day or two. That way I can make sure that I am set up for success. Like I said, I'm going to put a bag of corn out just to make sure that the deer are coming through here. I don't usually hunt over corn. I just put the bag out at the beginning of the season. When the season actually starts, September 15th, I stop feeding corn. I want to get used to coming on my property. And for those of you who are wondering what I'm actually going to catch on cam, I will put that at the end of the video, all the pictures that I may have gotten over the course of, let's say, 5 days. So stay tuned for those, and if you've learned something from this video, please do me a humongous favor and give me a thumbs up. It really does help out my channel. Go see my friend Steve, subscribe to him over at Corsair Trainers, subscribe to me if you're not, and I will catch y'all on the next one, okay? Bye. Hey, before you click off this video, hang on one more second. I just wanted to go ahead and add at the very end here, when I went inside, crawling on my shirt right here was 2 ticks, not 1 but 2. 1 over here, 1 over here. So obviously I brushed up against a branch with some ticks. So make sure whenever you come in from hanging out in the woods, especially during the summertime, that you are paying attention to checking yourself for ticks. Nobody wants Lyme disease, nobody needs Lyme disease, so a simple self-check when you come inside will suffice. Just make sure you're doing it and you're checking in all those little crevices. Hey, if you have a buddy, even better. So just wanted to add that before I closed off this video.